1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 top things to consider before buying a DSLR camera. Hi, I'm MK Wiseman, and on this channel I hope you have a much more better understanding of mobile devices like phones, laptops, cameras, and all the associated accessories. And if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. And don't forget to click that bell icon so that you don't miss any of our future videos, hacks, tutorials, tips, and everything in between. Now, this video is inspired by my friend Nasitula, who is planning to buy a DSLR camera, but he has no idea what to exactly look for, which specifications he should be looking for when purchasing one. So if you are in a similar situation, I got you covered. Now, without wasting any time, let's get started. Now, 6 things to consider before buying a DSLR camera. Number 1, camera sensor. The light coming in from the lens falls on the sensor, which captures that light and all the details about the object to produce the image. Now, the sensor is a real defining factor of a DSLR because it determines the size of the image, the resolution of the image, and the overall low light performance of the camera. It's important to keep in mind that the size of the sensor also determines both the physical size of your camera and the cost of your camera. Now, you have to know that. So, for a camera sensor, 2 factors to note down. Ready? Number 1, size of the sensor, and number 2, type of the sensor. Now, type of the sensor. Let's talk about type of the sensor. We have 2 types of sensors. We have CMOS sensors, which is CMOS, and these are basically the most popular type of sensor that you'll find in almost every DSLR. The advantage they have over the CCD sensors is that they are energy efficient, they consume less power, so they make your camera more energy efficient. I mean, your camera will have a good battery life if it has a CMOS sensor, and they are less expensive. This is the reason why nowadays DSLR cameras are less expensive, because of this newer technology of the CMOS sensors. Now, the second one are the CCD sensors. Now, these basically have a better output than the CMOS sensors, but it's an older technology, so they use a lot of power, they consume a lot of power, and therefore they are not energy efficient. And I think they are expensive. So basically they are used for specialized kind of projects. Okay, you may not even find them in any of the modern DSLRs. Number 2, size of the sensor. Now, for this, the larger the sensor, the better images with more details captured. Bigger sensors allow more light to fall on them and capture more details of the object than small sized sensors. We have different sizes of sensors that are available on the market. We have the full frame sensors being the biggest. We have the cropped frame or the APS-C sensors. Those ones, they follow their full frame. And then you have the 4/3 and 1/4 inch. So you have to remember that the bigger the camera sensor, the better images produce. But still, don't forget that bigger sensors come at a high cost. Moving on to the next thing, that is, you guessed it, resolution. I think this is what almost everyone looks for when they are buying a camera. Everyone is like, oh, what is the resolution? What is the resolution? But anyway, what is the resolution? Good question. Resolution is the measure of the amount of detail captured in each picture, and it is measured in pixels or megapixels. The more pixels in the image produced by the camera, the higher is its resolution. And high resolution images are sharper and more clearer. So I think it's worth investing in a camera with higher resolution. In case you need to print or display your images or your footage on different media, maybe projectors and sorts like that, I think investing in a camera which has higher resolution, maybe 20 megapixels and above, can really be helpful. But for videos, it's not that direct for videos, because you may find that a camera that has like 56 megapixels may not be able to like output 4K like or 8K footage. So in this case, if creating videos is your primary goal, I think it's better to look into cameras that can record videos at resolutions like 4K or 6A or 8K, depending on what you want, because like this will give you more pixels to play with during editing. And I mean, like, you can crop, you can zoom in without your images losing clarity or without your images getting pixelated. So that is really very important if you're into like video. But okay, how do we measure resolution, like in case of images? If a camera produces images that are 30,000 pixels wide and 4,000 pixels long, then the resolution is like 3,000 times 4,000, which is 12 million pixels, and that is 12 megapixels. Now, for resolution, it will always vary depending on the size of the sensor, as you can see in the table here. Now, keep in mind that images shot at a high resolution take up more space on the memory card, so you will need to purchase like bigger memory cards for you to be able to store these images shot at high resolution, you know, like videos, 4K videos, they are basically bigger. So moving on to the next thing, and that is connectivity. How does your camera connect to other devices? Things like being able to control your camera via Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, you have to put all that into consideration. Like nowadays, cameras can connect to TV displays and projectors via HDMI, laptops, phones, and tablets. We can connect all our laptops, and this is helpful like in remote shooting and seamless transfer of your footage from the camera to other devices. Like right now, I'm controlling my camera via my phone, so you have to consider that connectivity has to be one of the key factors you have to be looking for. How does it connect to other devices? Now, the fourth thing is lenses. One of the advantages of using DSLR cameras is they have a variety of lens options that are available for use. Now, for lenses, there are three elements to put into consideration. Number one, type of the lens. Number two, focal length. And number three is the aperture. Let's talk about types of lenses. Now, basically, we classify lenses into two types. We have like prime lenses and zoom or telephoto lenses. Some people call them telephoto lenses. Now, what are prime lenses? Now, prime lenses, these have like a fixed focal length, and which means you can't zoom into the object. Either you have to move forward, like as a way of zooming, or you have to move backward. I think you remember those days. Photographers use like move forward, move backward. I don't know if you remember those things. So those are prime lenses. You can't zoom in. So prime lenses, they have a fixed focal length. But prime lenses are also designed they are often designed with a wider aperture. For example, the one I'm using right now, the Nifty 50 lens, it has like 1.8 aperture, and that gives it a better performance in low light conditions. Actually, that's the reason why I bought it, because it can record it can record good videos in low light conditions. Anyway, zoom lenses. These lenses, any lens that allows you to change the focal length is going to be considered to be a zoom lens. You know, usually the focal length is labeled on the lens. Like for example, this one is 18 to 55 millimeters, and so it is a zoom lens. Hopefully you can see that, you can zoom in. So you don't have to move back and forth like in case of prime lenses. Okay, so let's talk about this focal length. What is it? What is this focal length? Focal length is the distance between the center of the lens and the object you are focusing on. So that is a focal length, and it is usually measured in millimeters. So focal length determines how much you can zoom into the object. Higher focal length means you can zoom more into the object. You can capture objects that are very far from you. Now usually cameras are labeled with their corresponding focal length. Like this one, this is 18 to 55 millimeters. Now depending on the type of shot you want, depending on the type of shot you are going for, we will use a different focal length similar to what is shown like in the table here. Now finally, the aperture. Yeah, the aperture. What is the aperture? This is the opening of the lens, which controls the amount of light passing through it, and it is that number in front of f. I mean, it's called like f number. Now the aperture can be confusing because the smaller the f number, the wider is the aperture. meaning that f1.4 is wider than f22. Aperture can be used like differently. People use it to create like the depth of field. Like people use it to blur the background, that is creating all the depth of field. But it can also be used in different ways, like in altering the exposure of the footage. In case you want more light to pass through the lens, you use a wider aperture. In case you want less light, you use a narrower aperture. So that's all about the aperture. Hopefully I have not confused you. Anyway, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. Hopefully it has been helpful to you, and if you have liked it, please give it a like or a dislike, and I will see you in the next video. Oh wait, I've not talked about one thing. ISO. Anyway, I think I should have said like 7 things, but ISO is the measure of light sensitivity by your image sensor. Wait a minute. Remember to buy a lens that you need. Wide angle lenses, like you have to buy wide angle. They're used for landscape photos. Zoom lenses for wildlife. Macro lenses like for small things like insects and flowers. And also one pro tip here. Pro tip: better you buy like both the camera and the lens at the same time. It's seriously cheaper to like do it that way. Okay. Alright. Thanks for watching this video till this far. Hopefully you are subscribed already. I don't know if you already subscribed. Anyway, let me know if you have anything you could like me to make a video about, and don't forget to share this video. It can save your friend a ton of time when like searching on the internet, Amazon, and why like they don't know what exactly to look for. So I actually wanted to share like something like PDF of these things, and like in actual details of how, like talking about the sensor, talking about the connectivity, the lenses, and then the resolution. Yeah, I actually wanted to write a PDF and then put it together. I may do it, I may just put it in the description below. So yeah, check out that description. It may be there. Yeah, different focal length have different uses, so let me put that one also there. And yeah, see you in the next video. Peace.